I want to tell you about the man I dated. And I use that word dated very deliberately. Because for a long time, I used a different word in my mind. A word that carried weight. A word that felt like armor. Relationship. It started with a key. A small, cold piece of brass that he placed into my palm. A key to his home. That simple object was my permission to exist in his world, as if it were my own. I had my own place, of course, but his apartment became my central nervous system. I'd wander in and out, leaving my books, picking up my mail. Our days were a slow, comforting rhythm. Every morning, the twin clinking of coffee mugs. Every evening, the synchronized hum of 2 treadmills at the gym. It was a silent, beautiful agreement. We were always together, always. And because of this quiet constancy, I assumed the commitment I felt reflected the commitment he held. Then, one Tuesday, the routine fractured. The gentle rhythm was replaced by a stillness, an unnerving quiet. And then came the phrase, delivered with a strange, detached calm that felt like an insane hook right at the beginning of a cold story. He looked at me after all that time and said, "You know, you weren't actually my girlfriend." It was a slow-motion shock. My entire world, built on that single assumption, dissolved into pixel dust. I was heartbroken. I was furious. I gathered my belongings and I walked away. And in that moment, I made one commitment that I finally kept. I would never, ever again assume I was in a relationship with anyone. But here's the true story. The slow, significant plot twist that only reveals itself over time. That moment of devastating clarity wasn't a failure, it was a foundation. I realized how much time I had invested in being someone's partner. So I took all that dedicated energy, that meticulous scheduling, and I poured it into the only relationship I truly needed to define, the one with my own future. I didn't rush. I didn't rebound. I focused. I built my side hustle, brick by methodical pixel brick. I became disciplined. I became successful. Months later, the phone rang. It was him. The rhythm of his voice was different this time. Eager, almost desperate. He was finally ready, he said, to commit. To define things. He wanted to be clear about what we were. I looked around my new self-built world, my own thriving business, my quiet, earned success, and I smiled. The woman who walked out of his life that Tuesday was gone. The insane hook had finally paid off. I told him very calmly, "You're right. I'm not your girlfriend." Then I paused, just long enough to let the weight of the realization land. I'm the CEO. The greatest freedom is never having to ask someone else for the key to your own success.